A big story in MMA right now is the state of the middleweight division. It is somewhat of a mess. You heard from GSP last week. He sent out a tweet to Michael Bisping. He said, let's meet either in October or later. Well, that's in 5 months. What is going on? A man who has some thoughts on the mess that is 185 is the former middleweight champion himself, Luke Rockhold. And he joins us via the magic of Skype. Hey, Luke, how are you?
Doing all right. As you can obviously tell, Miller division is a mess, and just trying to straighten things out.
No pleasantries. We're getting right into it. I like it. No fooling around here.
Yeah. It's no point in that these days.
Let me ask you a question right off the bat, Luke. You're the former champion. You last fought in a title fight. You're the last guy, to hold the belt, not named Michael Bisping. When you look at the division, you're obviously healthy. I see you training. I know you're in Florida. You're with Henry Hooft. You look at the division. You're in the prime of your career. You're itching to get back in there. Is it hard to be motivated to fight, to climb the ladder when you know that the belt is kind of hanging there? You don't know when it's going to be defended. And there's this long queue of guys who are upset, disgruntled, waiting for their shot. How do you react to the current state of the division?
Yeah, it's lack of motivation. There's nothing I want more than to fight. But, when you fight, there's got to be a goal. I fight to be the best. I fight to win titles and to get that championship dollar. So, that's what it's all about. There's no path to that. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. So what's the fucking point? Will it be if they fight in October? What then? Bisping wouldn't have fought a contender in a year and a half holding the belt. Something like that, potentially 2 years if he ever even does fight a contender. It's becoming pretty ridiculous. I don't know. There's just no point, especially in this division. I'm open to moving divisions if I have to.
Has the UFC talked to you recently about a fight? Have they offered you anything of note? Yeah,
no, I've been offered a fight. So. I don't understand it exactly, really. They offered me Mousasi, and they haven't even signed Mousasi yet. So, technically, how do I sign a contract when a guy's not even signed to the company?
Huh.
Yeah, so it's an interesting tag. I like the fight, but I'm not going to go fight the best guys in the world without getting closer to a title or getting a title shot. I want my shot at the belt, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not just going to keep fighting these guys for nothing.
So in other words, do you think that you're being kind of used in the Mousasi negotiations? Like they're saying you have this fight against Luke Rockhold, and once Luke agrees to the fight, then you can re-sign with us, and this is the big fight that you've been waiting, et cetera, et cetera. Like, is that what you're thinking is going on?
I think it's definitely a ploy to sign him, I would say.
Okay.
From what I can see from the outside, maybe get him cheaper, do whatever they're trying to do. I know how this business works. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. If they put a title on the line, they put an interim title, they make the champion actually fight a contender, then I'd be happy to sign a fight and to move forward and do something. But until then, you got Yoel Romero waiting for a title shot. Now you got the Whitaker kid thinking he's in line for a title shot. Mousasi's, he's the only one really talking about fighting right now. I'm in this position. I don't need to fight. I'm building the house. I got other things going on right now. I want to fight, but it's got to be right. The time's got to be right. We are the heart and soul of the division. Every single guy in the division really is not fighting. So I don't know. Everyone else is waiting for a title shot. Mousasi's seemingly the only one pushing to make a fight happen right now. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Which card would this be on?
I would sometime in July. I think what they're shooting for, but we'll see. If they get their shit together and they make something happen, then I'll be happy to sign a fight. But they gotta fucking straighten their shit out and make something happen.
So if they just say, okay, we've got let's just say July 29th because it's a pay-per-view and July is rapidly approaching. If they say July 29th, we have a fight against, for you against Mousasi, co-main event, whatever it is, but it's just a regular fight. It's not a title fight. It's not a number one contender fight. It's just a fight. That doesn't interest you.
What I mean, what I beat Musasi and then I'm third in line.
Yeah,
second in line. I mean, like you got George St-Pierre supposedly, and then you got Yoel supposedly in line, and then you know I'm not gonna do it. I mean, without a path, without a direction. You know, I tried to get an Anderson fight, would have been fun. I was up for that. I was open to move to heavyweight. Riso turned that option down. I even offered light heavyweight fights, you know. So nothing really is seemingly coming to fruition.
They don't want you to move up?
I mean, I doubt it. Our division's hot right now, and we got good matchups, but they're just not fucking putting the champion to work, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, are they really going to wait till October to make this George St-Pierre fight? I don't even think anybody's really hyped on this fight anymore.
Maybe even November, because that's when I hear they're going back to MSG. He just said from October on he would be willing to fight. So it could be November for all we know.
Yeah, it's a joke. The company's kind of losing it these days. I don't know what happened. What happened to the old company where the best fought the best, and that what built this company? Now it's just now it's like a spectator sport. They're just putting freak shows together.
Who do you blame for the situation with GSP? Like, do you understand kind of where Bisping is coming from? He's been told he's going to fight a legend. He's been told that he's going to make a lot of money. So now he's holding out for that fight. I don't think he knew it would be this long of a wait. And then you have the situation where the UFC books this fight when it was clear to me that GSP told them I wouldn't be ready in July when they wanted to make the fight. And now they're holding on to it. They're holding on to it. It's delaying. Like how do you make sense of this when, you know, you have all these guys who are ready to go, ready to fight, and they're waiting for this one fight which doesn't have, you know, an actual date attached to it?
Yeah. Who do I blame for it?
Yeah.
you led on. I mean, you know, it's hard. I mean, it's everybody involved. I mean, I think Bisping could obviously step up and fight someone if he had the opportunity. I think George is obviously a big problem in this situation. I think, you know, everyone's at fault. It's they just need to make something happen and realize that October, November. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Let's make a fight. At least put an interim title on the line. If the guy's not going to fight, put the real title on the line. I mean, he's going to be inactive and not fight one contender in 2 years. What's the point in being the champion?
Have you or your management talked to the UFC? Okay, like what's going on here? What is my path? How many fights do I need to get back in that title fight picture? I mean, what's going, like, have you had a sort of heart to heart with them?
Heart to heart. What are you talking about? It's business.
Yeah.
And get cutthroat at times, and you know how it is. You know, I know I need to go win. I go put on the performance. I'm right there. So, but I go put on a performance, and I beat one of the best guys in the world. And there's no path to anything. So what's the fucking point? I mean, there's no point in staying in this division in this company. It's like, if they want me to, if it's just money fights, I'll do that somewhere else. Fuck. I mean, you can let me go for my contract and I'll go fight big money fights somewhere else. But I'm here in this company to fight the best guys in the world and to win titles. And so if there's no path to that, you know, I'm out. Let me go.
Would that be the ideal scenario for you? Are you at the point now that you're tired of it all and you'd like to move on?
I want to fight the best guys in the world and I want to get the fucking title. That's what I want. But if they're not going to leave a clear path to that, then I'll just go fight fights and whatever and just do my thing on my own. I mean, there's money to be made outside this company too.
How close were you to getting the Anderson fight in your opinion? Because I know that was discussed. Dana talked about it at 210. In your mind, did you think you had it?
I know Anderson doesn't like to fight. I know he didn't want to fight me. So they made it seem like it was going to happen in so many ways, and so I was ready. I was kind of excited for it, but in the back of my head, I knew Anderson wasn't going to take the fight.
How often?
Unfortunately, I was right.
Yep. How often do you think about last June and say to yourself, "Gosh, you know, if I didn't lose to this guy, this wouldn't have happened"? Do you sort of stew over that a lot, especially given your current feelings on the whole situation?
No, I don't stew on it too much.
Okay.
Definitely. Obviously, I'm not happy about how it went down, but we move on, we live and we learn and move forward.
So what do you think happens here? This seems like one big headache, and it feels almost like they're trying to fix the situation now. No more interim belts. We'll try to make amends for the allowances that we made over the past year and a half. But it does kind of feel like a growing trend that a lot of the fighters are frustrated with the current state of the promotion. What do you think happens with your situation?
I don't know, man. I can't predict anything these days anymore. So I mean, they're just chasing to pay off a debt. Really, I think is what they're doing. Them trying to put mega fights together that don't make sense. I don't know. You never know what they're going to do these days. I don't know what they're going to do. So who knows? Do you know what they're going to do?
No, I don't. I wish I did.
I don't know. I would imagine sensibly they'd have to put like an interim title on the line in some way at some time. How long are they really they're gonna do this? So I don't get it.
Do you feel motivated to go train? Is it hard given the current state of the division? You don't know, where that title is, when it's going to be defended, when that shot is coming for you. Do you find it tough to get out of bed and go work your hardest in the gym?
I like fighting. I like getting in the gym. I like getting better.
Okay.
So that's not much of a problem. That's why I come out here to mix it up. I'm out here in Florida. I like training other areas. You get different looks and different techniques. There's always more to learn. Things are a little slow back home, so it's inspiring to get away and try something new. So yeah. I always try to mix it up. I mix it up a little bit. I'm still AKA, of course, but I like training out there with Hoofed, and the guys they're solid. So the weather's not too bad either.
Yeah. How would you describe the current feelings that you have on your MMA career? Like, do you feel like you're starting to lose hope? Do you feel like you're getting annoyed? You are really longing to do something else? How would you describe it?
No, I'm here to fight, in one way or the other. But it's just the division itself is annoying, and I'm not holding to that either.
Yeah,
I'm open to moving up division. I've voiced that, and so. If this division is going to go the way it's going, I might as well move up into a different division.
But is 205 problematic for you because your friend Daniel Cormier and training partner is the champ there?
DC's not going to fight forever. So I don't know. There's plenty other guys that dance around and fight.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind taking fights at heavyweight just for fun. I mean, if we're going to do fun,
yeah.
If it's just about having fun and getting paid, I'd rather go fight somewhere else. I'd rather fight a different division because I'm not going to fight the best guys at middleweight to get to nowhere. I'd rather fight fights that are fun for me and get me excited.
Well, one of my
people like from Doom.
Yes, that's one of my favorite feuds in MMA. It's somewhat nonsensical, but I just love that it continues like 6 years later. Was that ever close? This time around, when he brought it up on the show, I think I asked him about it, if I'm being fair, and then you responded on UFC Tonight, and it went on and on. Was that ever discussed? Like, did you ever make a serious pitch to fight him?
I was serious. I came to the UFC, I came to everybody, and I talked about it and brought it up. I believe they brought it to him, and then he, I think he got cold feet, turned around and said, he thinks he's close to a title shot. So I think which I think is a joke, because last thing they want is Verdum back in the title shot. But yeah, no, I think he got cold feet. He got a little scared and ran the other way.
Wow.
I love the matchup. I'd love to go fight that guy at heavyweight.
How much do you weigh now?
Maybe 208.
208. So you just wouldn't cut weight?
I'd be right here. Yeah. I'm not going to try to gain a bunch of weight. What do I need? What do I need? I fight the best heavyweights all the time. I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
In that division. I got a lot of guys that come through. I train a lot of different areas. So I do quite well at heavyweight.
And by the way, for those that don't understand the beef between Verdum and Rockhold, just YouTube their names together. We've asked them about it, both of them, countless times in the past, so we don't have to rehash all of that. So what's the game plan here? What are we going to do? Do you think, I mean, like, how do you, I mean, they're not going to do, Dana said on Friday, no interim fight for anyone.
No interim fight?
Yeah.
For anyone or just Anderson?
Oh, well, I kind of viewed it as for anyone, but maybe it was just for Anderson. I mean, if they're not going to give an interim fight to Romero, then I kind of view them not giving it to anyone at this point.
If they're not putting an interim title on line, or if they're not making Bisping fight a contender, I'm not fighting anybody, and so should the rest of the division too. I don't see what's the point. I mean, if they without me, Mousasi, Yoel, and Whitaker, I mean, I think everyone should stand their ground and say fuck you. You know, put a title in line, or else fuck. You don't even have a division.
So are you saying the middleweight should go on strike, essentially?
I think everyone is already on strike, aren't they? Well, waiting for a title.
Yeah.
Whitaker's down. I've voiced my opinion. I think Musashi should stand his ground too. I mean, without us, you have no fucking division.
Wow. Did you ask for the
make something happen?
Yep.
I asked for the Whitaker fight.
What?
Whitaker fight is. Yeah, I did ask for it, of course.
What'd they say?
I think that's more of a clear cut, straight path to the title. Musasi's coming off, he looked good against Weidman, but it was, some controversy at the end, and then Whitaker knocked out Jacare. That's pretty clear cut. You go put that guy away, and then you don't have to worry about anybody else trying to jump you.
So you'd rather, if you had to fight someone at 185 and it's not for the belt, you'd rather Whitaker over Mousasi?
I think it's a clear path,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear cut. He fucking knocked out Jacare, and Mousasi lost to Jacare. So he's won a lot of fights since, so he looked good. Mousasi's he's a talented guy.
What did they say to you when you asked for?
I'm not fighting anybody. I'm not fighting anybody until they do something. Like I said. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I think Whitaker broke his hand though too, right?
Well, I keep asking for an update, but there was some fear that he may have broken it again. By the way, are you willing to sit out for the rest of the year? I mean, if this title fight doesn't come together until October, November, and you say that you don't want to do anything until they start clearing up the division, that might mean you not fighting in 2017. How do you feel about that?
I told you I'm open to moving up weight classes.
Okay.
So
okay.
There's if that's the case and they don't make something happen, I'm fucking sayonara to the middleweight division. What's the point right now? I can come back when I want.
How's the modeling gigs?
We're making money.
Anything big? You get to work with any big time models as well? Giselle, I don't know any other ones, but some of them I recognize.
We're focusing on the fight game right now.
Okay, all right.
And building the house, doing some things. So we'll see if we got some gigs. We're working on some things always on the back end. So something could happen here. We'll see.
Would it be fair to say before I let you go that the ball is in their court, that you're waiting for them to A, figure out the division, and B, come to you with an offer that makes sense?
Yeah, the ball is definitely in their court. I think they know that. I think everyone's not very happy in the situation right now. I'm sure Yoel's payment isn't going to last and hold him off too long.
Right. I like the way you just looked at me.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll see. You know, I mean, I think everyone needs to step up and make something happen. And the middleweights need to step up and hold their ground.
Is it possible that the middleweights have like a WhatsApp group chat and you guys can all come together and get on the same page?
We should.
You should. That would be something. That'd be historic.
Yeah.
Well, you're.
They're forcing us in. They're forcing us into a corner. We gotta stick up and fucking stay together and make something happen. I'm tired of this shit, man.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're in this position, and the situation is somewhat tricky. It is a bit of a mess. Hopefully they figure it out sooner rather than later. And I appreciate you coming on and updating us. A lot of questions about your situation. What's that?
We'll see. Hopefully they update us.
I can't believe it's been a year since you last fought. Well, 11 months, but you know, it's going to be a year soon. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But got to get healthy. Finally got my leg back, and I'm training hard, so I'll be ready when the time comes, if something comes up. So I'm ready to fight. Trust me. Nothing more I want to do right now than fight.
All right. Thanks, Luke. Keep us posted if you can.
Yeah, you'll see it. When it happens, then we'll talk to you soon.
All right. There he is, Luke Rockhold. A frustrated Luke Rockhold, a disgruntled Luke Rockhold, I think. Voicing some of the concerns that others seem to have, especially in the middleweight division. There was a video tweeted last week by George St-Pierre telling Michael Bisping, pick any date from October on. And I think that has upset some of the middleweights who were hoping that this fight would materialize sooner rather than later.